right, welcome Sports Locker Nation. This is One Nation and SLM Extra, and I am excited about this program we have going on tonight. You will find out why here in just a moment, but I'm going to go ahead and bring on my co-host, Mr. Jay Gill. Jay, what's going on, bud?
Hey, what's going on, Dad? I am just as excited as you are because, I mean, I guess the video kind of tells it. It's spoiler alert. We're
Spoiler
going to
alert.
have Sports Locker Magazine's own photographer, Kati Gill, on tonight's show. And yeah, folks, that's my wife. Let me tell you something. I've had the absolute pleasure of being able to watch tonight's guest grow up, mature in her craft over the last 15 and a half years. Dad, you've been doing it for 31. Kati Gill is an absolutely amazing photographer, and I've had the joy of helping her take pictures pretty much since I was 16 years old. And by saying I help her, I mean I mostly just stand there encouraging her, maybe yelling at the people that she's taking photos of, trying to make goofy noises. Generally, now I'm just like an annoying tripod. Uh, but that flash goes off, and I want you guys to know, yours truly, I'm the one holding that flash. Now, I mean, I only did that because she told me where to hold it, and the flash only goes off because the camera tells it to. So again, mostly I'm just that talking tripod. Anyways, get back to my notes here. I've watched Katie start with one of those film cameras. Um, that's that's if you don't know what film is, film. You didn't have Photoshop. You didn't have all these digital tricks, and so Katie literally had to master how to take a picture and make it perfect, and then you have no idea if the subject blinked. You have no idea if your subject is blurry in focus, if the lighting was correct. All you did was just take a bunch of photos and then you took it and you sent it into the lab so that way you could get back these little 4x6 proofs and you could actually see the pictures for the first time. So now she's upgraded to her mirrorless digital camera, but it's that keen eye and that sharp eye that she developed that makes the picture so good out of the camera. And then she can also combine it with today's technology. And that's why you get such awesome, flawless photos from my wife, Katie. I've seen her doing this for almost 16 years, so trust me, she's good. Anyways, let's look here. I'm so proud of how much she truly cares about every photo shoot that she goes on. She absolutely tries her best to make sure that it's special for the person on the other side of the camera. It's an honor to call her my wife. She's an amazing mother to my beautiful children. And even more importantly, she's my best friend. So, Dad, I'm going to let you open it up. You can talk about your daughter in any way you want. That's my opening. I'm just excited to see her. I haven't got to see her really all day.
All right. How am I supposed to follow up with that other than just to say she's awesome? I'm her dad. I'm so proud of her, and I love her. So with that, let's go ahead and bring her on.
Bring her on.
Hey, Kate. How are you doing, hon?
Hey, good.
You were a little
Well,
nervous
thank
about what
you
he
for
was going
that.
to.
I was. I will say that was much more enjoyable than our test. Less nerves.
What?
So thank you for that.
What? I
Appreciate
said
it.
exactly that the whole time.
Yep.
That's right.
Truth.
Hey,
Oh goodness.
we're so happy to have you on here tonight. You do so many things that are behind the scenes with the magazine, and without you, I do not believe that we would have the quality magazine that we have. And uh, there's people that take photographs, but I know that your heart is in it, wanting to not only bless our readers, but bless the student athletes and the coaches by taking the best pictures that you can. So we want to say thank you for all that you do on our end, and we appreciate you.
Well, thank you. I feel
Well,
like
yes.
I'm just a little piece of the puzzle, but I appreciate that.
Well, it's a big part of the puzzle because if we had me taking pictures, it would probably not be good at all. I know it wouldn't be
Oh
good.
yeah. You
Jay,
never
you
know.
don't Jay, you don't have to make that face though.
Oh no, it's fine. You would be just fine, Dad.
Yeah, whatever. Awesome. Hey, why don't you go ahead and get started with our interview questions, and we'll just have some fun here.
All right. So, Katie, you've been the lead photographer for Sports Locker magazine since we started the publication. What do you enjoy the most about capturing the stories of the student athletes and coaches through the pictures you take?
I think it's just, I don't know, it started out just as helping out with the magazine, and it's just grown from that. You meet so many amazing student athletes and coaches, and even the staff, you get to know them throughout the whole process. And so, I don't know, I just enjoy hearing their stories and how they got to where they're at. Um, and then just trying to give them good quality photos and make it fun while we're there, and just be a good experience. So, I don't know if
No,
that answered the question or not, but it's just a lot of fun to get to know um, these kids and adults that you wouldn't have contact with, you know, up until this point. So,
yeah, and I know that there's been a few times when it's also been difficult when you've taken photographs of a student athlete, and then somewhere down the line we've had a couple of them have passed away, and I know that that is something that um, you take to heart too, on how important it is to tell their stories. So just tell me a little bit about when you see something like that. What's going on with you when you find out about, say, for instance, like Jackson Carriega?
oh man. Well, first of all, Jackson was just a joy to work with. He was so fun and he just had that great energy that just made you smile. And so to hear about that loss, it's heartbreaking. But you're so thankful in that moment that you took that time, however short it was, to get those pictures so that you can give them to the family and um, just remember his smile and just his kind soul. So yeah, that's I'm thankful that we take those that time to do that and that we can, hopefully bless the family um, with some good memories. So
Well, I know that his family was appreciative of the photographs that you had of him, and I know that meant a lot to him, especially after their loss. So, a lot of times the magazine it extends beyond what we see on the printed page, and that was one of those times that happened. So, again,
yeah.
I appreciate your attention to detail and trying to make the best experience you possibly can. So, with that, I want to go ahead and talk real quickly about how did you get started taking photographs when you were younger? How that all what happened with that?
I have to give credit to my grandmother, Sandy Ballinger. She has always loved taking photos, and I was gifted a film camera. I don't remember how old, probably 11 or 12. And so I was gifted that camera, and I didn't know anything about it. And so she actually taught my first photography class to myself and some of my friends, just learning how to manually do all of your settings and take all, how to try to get a good shot in camera with film. Like Jay said, you don't know what you're going to get, it's a guessing game. So I spent a lot of money on film. I know that. And I'm sorry, I think you have most of those photos at your house still. So
We
I
have a few.
apologize.
We have a
Yeah.
few.
But no, she really helped me just kind of learn about the camera, and I just fell in love with it. I've always liked taking pictures to remember activities. You can ask pretty much anybody in our youth group. I always had a camera with me and drove everybody nuts taking their pictures. Um, but that's how it started. And then through that, just asking friends and family if I could take their pictures and senior pictures and practice, with them. And it just kind of bloomed from there, I guess. And then digital came along, and so I upgraded to digital, which was a whole nother ball game. It's still important to get it as close as you want it in camera, but the possibilities are endless with what you can do from it, post processing. So anyways, yeah, just started from a young age, thanks to my grandma.
Yeah, and speaking of your grandma, there's a quick little note from her. Thanks for the shout out.
Oh. Well, thanks for helping me like photography.
Yeah, very good. Well, that was one of the things that you did. You developed an eye um, for your photography through using that film camera, and again with the help of your grandmother, and just being able to develop that eye, and then that carried on over when you got into the digital camera. So that was really neat seeing how you were able to transition into that. So Jay, why don't you go ahead and ask the next question that kind of brings in some of that?
Yeah, so speaking of the, transitioning, you did a lot of family photos. I know you did a lot of senior pictures. Uh, and then all of a sudden your dad's like, "Hey, I want you to take sports pictures." How big of an adjustment was that? I think if you look at magazine day 1, like you had great pictures, but if you look at the magazine now, I mean, it's almost night and day. Like you've really honed your craft. Kind of talk about that process and how that transformation came
Jay,
about.
Jay, I wouldn't say night and day. I'd say like mid morning, late afternoon. I would.
That's
No,
yeah.
no,
There
no.
you
It
go.
was night and day. No, it was. I cringe looking at my work in those first issues. So no, night and day. I hope. um, well, yeah. So I basically started with family photos, which was always so much fun and has its own sets of challenges depending on how many kids there are and how their age is, and if dad likes being in photos, that's a big deal. So I'm just pointing that out to both of you men. Just when I take pictures, be team players. It makes my job a
Okay.
lot easier. But no, I just started with family stuff, and then seniors was so much fun. I feel like when you take senior pictures, you just really get to know the person, encouraging them to bring anything they're interested in. I mean, I've had somebody who loved shoes, and I think they brought like 40 pairs of shoes to their photo shoot, and it was just so much fun, just to be like, okay, well, let's capture this moment in time for you. So seniors were probably a big passion of mine before starting Sports Locker. I am not a sports person. Sorry, Dad. Tried. Not
Not
the
a problem.
greatest at sports.
Not a problem on my
Um,
end.
so I didn't going into it, I was a natural light photographer, which was what I was taught to be. And with that, that just was important, especially when you're doing film. And so once digital opened up, it's just a whole different ballgame. But yeah, those first few issues were very interesting. I felt like I didn't really know what I was doing. Um, and so I just hopefully grew with that. And yeah, it was fun. It was a little intimidating, for sure, but we had a good time, and hopefully growth has happened since then. So
Well, your Aunt Jackie just came on and said, "You are so much more!" Exclamation point, and she's absolutely
oh
right. So, I think
well,
you could
thank you.
see in the video that we did coming in is just the joy that you have, not only with your family but also with your friends, and just in everything that you do. And what people don't see is when you're behind the camera and when you're working with these student athletes, you are just enjoying the moment and you're really encouraging them. And so, as a dad, I'm just very proud to see all that and be a part of it. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you.
You're
We
welcome.
have a good time.
Yes, we do. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of a good time, we need to go ahead and talk real quick about Diesel Power Plus. So we're going to bring on our first sponsor, and then we'll head into our second section.
Let every nation bow before him, bow before my Lord. Let every nation bow before him, bow before my Lord. Rulers and kingdoms will
right, that's Diesel Power Plus out on Highway 50 and 87 in California, Missouri. And those, Jay's wearing the hat. He's pointing to it right there. Those are some really cool hats. Along with that, Jay, I mean, I know I've told you this, but they have ice cream now out there at the Dairy Barn.
I know. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
So you guys are going to have to stop in there, either going or coming back from Colorado on your next visit, and check that out. And as always, and this is a good treat, your mom has come on and said hello, but even more importantly, she says, "Hi, beautiful lady." And she's not talking about you and me, Jay. Thank you, right?
I got excited. I heard "hi, beautiful." I thought, oh, well, thank you.
Well,
Oh,
you're beautiful, Jay. That's awesome.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
why don't you go ahead and start off with the next question in this section? And again, it's lots of good stuff we're covering here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to. I'm going to steal the show for just a second. This is important for people to understand. You brought up ice cream, and that is a joy. Hold on, this is not funny. That is a joy and a pleasure that I do not get to partake in right now. As many of you know, Katie does have gestational diabetes right now, and so we've had to cut sugars out completely, and her body is just turning against her. And the doctor has advised us not to do that, so we're following doctor's orders. And I just want you guys to know, take advantage if you can and eat all the ice cream. This is a very important public service announcement. After that baby is born, we will be having our ice cream. That is a treat that we
For sure.
both desire and want. So anyways, it's a serious subject. I cannot wait to go to to get ice cream from Diesel Power Plus. I'm just telling you, I can't wait. It's
Same.
top of the list. Top of the list. Baby born, get ice cream. Baby born,
Pretty much.
get ice cream. That's
Okay.
that's the list. That's the list. So
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry about that.
Your mom said no sugar is good. Are you sure you haven't had some sugar? Because that was a little bit over the top. No, I'm just kidding.
Nope. That's caffeine. Anyways.
Oh, okay.
Katie, so Sports Locker
Yeah.
covers quite a few schools throughout mid-Missouri. In fact, that's 18 high schools and 3 universities. So pretty busy. You're responsible for 12 of those schools. Talk to me about these interviews. Now, you come, you show up, we do 3 interviews, 3 photo shoots at the schools, sometimes same sports. How difficult is it to get creative throughout the whole day? I want you to kind of talk about your process.
Well, it's ever changing. um, we've been doing this for a while now, and the goal is to always try to have a variety. And so I think the biggest thing I've come away with is that every student that you meet is a different person and has a different personality or passion. And so just I used to just try to look up things online and Pinterest for creative ideas, but there's not a ton out there anymore that we haven't already done. And so the past couple of years, just really trying to hone in on the students and get to knowing them during the interviews has really helped, because you can kind of just see their personalities come alive. And so, yeah, I just really try to focus on who they are and just try to capture those moments. If they're a really smiley person and they're only giving me like this awesome serious face, I'm like, okay, now we need to see you smile because you have such a great smile, and so just trying to make them comfortable and have a fun time is the goal. And usually that being done helps them just kind of relax and gives me an idea and creativity. Plus, I have usually you two around that help with some good ideas as well, and I greatly appreciate that. So thank you.
Well, it's mostly been the addition of Jay, but that's good. So from Deanna Nilgis, she says you all do a great job, and we were able to do an interview and photo shoot with Hannah Mill just not long ago, and that was a lot of fun. I know you had fun doing that particular one as well as a lot of others. I mean, it seems like we have fun just about everywhere we go. There's not very many
Yeah.
times when it's like, okay, that one was rough. We don't have that. There are some instances when there's maybe not all the uniform or not all the equipment, and then we got to get even more creative. There's some challenges there, aren't there?
Yeah, there can be. But I used to stress about that. Because obviously the more gear you have, the shoes, from the jerseys to whatever it is, that is super helpful. But I will say that sometimes we don't have that. It gives you a different perspective and spin on how to take the photos. And so it's more of a relaxed shoot and just really focuses on the kid or the kids themselves. So I used to stress out about that. But I do, however, carry a golf ball in my camera bag now because golf, if you don't have a golf ball, it can be kind of tragic. So I've got that one covered. I can't
Yeah,
carry all of the sports things, but I can carry a golf ball in my bag.
yeah. It's a little bit harder to be able to carry a football helmet, shoulder pads, and all that kind of stuff. You
Yeah,
don't quite have. I
can't do
mean,
that. No.
your camera bag's heavy enough. How heavy is that thing, by the way?
Oh goodness, we haven't weighed it, but we probably should. All I know is I get told to set it down right now and not carry it. So Jay is now he carries the backpack as
He's
well.
the
So
backpack Nazi, huh?
yep, pretty much. That or Bowman gets it for me. So
That's good. That's good. Hey, when you guys come back from Colorado and you do this twice a year, and we do 3 issues at a time when we do the interviews and photo shoots, so that could mean that we're anywhere between 36 and 40 interviews in just 3 days. How difficult is that for your creativity and trying to put all that together?
I would think that it would, I mean, I would say it's a little difficult, but honestly, it might actually help me because everything is fresh on your mind. So I'm really thankful we're able to do it that way just because you're doing so many of the same sports all through those 3 days, sometimes back to back. And so you remember, okay, I've already done this, or I used lighting for, this image that way. I really want to do this one in black and white because it, will look really neat. So I actually think it's kind of been a benefit just for me because when you do space it out, you have those moments of, oh, I need to go back and refresh myself on what we've already taken so I don't have the exact same pose for basketball in the same issue. So I think it's actually been a benefit to us just to be able to do it that way, just to get motivated and creativity flowing. So it
Hmm.
works.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I feel like. I mean, when we were doing them individually, it seems like now their creativity is even better, and we've
Yeah.
tripled the amount of interviews and photo shoots in 3 days. So
Yeah.
it's been. I mean, I think it's. You think it would be more difficult, but it seems to be like it's working a lot better.
I agree. I definitely think it is. I think you just start getting, in the groove and then it just, you meet all these awesome kids and you just get
Yeah,
excited about it. And so it makes it fun.
yeah, great.
Kind of put it in perspective for the viewers. I mean, Dad's saying, 36 to 40 interviews. We have 3 days. We don't have all day. What's our time frame like?
Well, I mean, what do we have? Usually 30 to 40 minutes total. Is
Mhm.
that usually what it is? Yeah, Dad's really good about getting everything scheduled and drive time and time for lunch. And so, which he knows is important to me all the time. So, but
And
no, it's
coffee and
and,
coffee.
oh yeah,
And
he
coffee.
learned he learned really fast that if I don't have coffee in the morning, that I'm just not as talkative or perky at all. Um, but no, it's with that time frame, those 30, 35, 40 minutes. I mean, you're squeezing in getting to the school, finding who you need to talk to, getting the kid, where you need them to go, and then usually it's interviews and then photos. Sometimes we flip flop it around and we try to tag team if we know that we really need extra time. But we're looking at probably, what do you think? 15 minutes, maybe
Mm-hmm.
15, 20 minutes for the actual photos.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a lot of time at all, but in that time that you use, it's just fun to just laugh and have a good time and catch them, enjoying their sport. So yeah, it's fast, but it's good.
Yeah, it is fast, and we appreciate the schools working with us as far as coordinating that so that we can be as efficient as we possibly can and not take up
Yeah.
a lot of the kids' time from classes, which, a lot of times they're okay with taking out a little bit more time, aren't they?
Yeah. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, this is not my subject. Are you sure you don't need me any longer?" They're like, "No, go back to class. You're good."
Yeah,
So,
it's a lot of fun. Uh, we appreciate our relationship with the schools, and again all their work in trying to help us put out a good product with some outstanding student athletes and coaches that we get to represent. So, speaking of outstanding, that was a pretty good transition, wasn't it? We're going to
that
move
was
on
good.
to our other sponsor, CNS Business Services. So we're going to hear a quick little message from Stephanie.
Stephanie with CNS Business Services. CNS is averaging around 30 different job openings with multiple positions within those 30 jobs. So what does that mean for you? Well, if you're looking for variety in employment choices, CNS has you covered. Check out details on our website about the job openings and apply online or at our office at 1731 South Ridge Drive. Thanks.
To CNS.
We appreciate CNS Business Services, and again, they are doing a lot of hard work trying to place people into jobs all throughout Mid-Missouri. If you know anybody that needs a job, contact them at CNS Business Services. They will be happy to get you placed. They will be happy to get you the information that you need and answer any questions that you might have. All right. Hey, again, as always, we fly through this thing. So, Jay, keep her going. Start with the first question in the third section.
You got it. So Kate, over the years, we've talked about it a lot, but we want to keep talking about it. You have really developed a passion for these students, for these photo shoots. And I'm just kind of curious, where did that really come from? I mean, uh, I know during COVID it was hard, and you had a really big heart for the kids, to the point where when you do photos, you want any kid after the issue's been released to get their photos at no charge. You just want these kids to be able to hold on to these memories. I'm just curious, where did this passion come from? How did it develop?
It just kind of came up over time. I feel like I said in the beginning, shooting sports was such a new thing for me, and I didn't honestly know what I was doing. So yeah, I really over COVID, my heart just was breaking for these students that everything was different for them, and there wasn't a normal anymore. And so that was something that I just really latched onto, and I just was like, I just want to give these kids one the best experience that they have. Some kids get their pictures taken all the time, and then you run across other kids that this might be one of their senior pictures. You just never know. And so just to be able to bless them with these photos afterwards, to help them remember how awesome they are, has just really been my goal. But yeah, no, this you just once you get to know these students, even in the short amount of time that we're with them, you really can see who they are, and their passions and their goals and their drive, and you can see, just a glimpse of their future. So it's super exciting, and I just get excited to meet every single one of them, because we have just, I mean, every kid is just completely awesome that we've gotten to interview over the years and shoot over the years. So
Well, and I know that one of the things that you want to do, and again, another passion of yours, is just to make it a very good experience. And I know that that's the goal going in, is that we want them to feel special when we get there. And you're a big part of helping to make that happen, and I know that that's on your heart when we go to these schools. So
For sure.
again, I know you're like, why you guys keep lifting me up and adulation and
I mean, you both are so biased, so I don't know what to say.
well, okay, so all right, here's another person that's biased. Your Aunt Jackie. I love the work you
Yeah.
all do. It's very important to make these kids feel special. I am sure it is very treasured by the entire family. So there you go. It's not just Jay and I.
Okay. Well, thank you.
It's his
But yeah,
mom. It's his mom. It's your aunt. It's all the family on here. Deanna Nilgis. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, if your student has been featured and you haven't gotten those pictures or you didn't know that you could get those pictures, reach out to us because I don't ever delete anything. And so I have a lot of images throughout the years. And if that's something that your family would like, please let us know because we would love to get those to you guys.
Hey, Kate, I know another thing that you really enjoy about the magazine is the opportunity to be able to do this along with Jay. And what have you really appreciated and enjoyed about seeing his writing? Don't make that face. Seeing what he does with his writing, and all the different things that he does with this program. He gets the final word in the magazine. He gets the final word on this program. What have you enjoyed about seeing him go through all this?
Well, it's so much fun, first of all, when we're in town and we go, I didn't make that face. when you
I'm
did
just
my intro.
listening.
No, so it's just a lot of fun to have him there. As you can tell, he brings a lot of fun, energy and laughter, which is really good. I mean, you can get students that are extremely nervous, and you just want them to enjoy their experience and to not stress about it. And Jay is a key factor in that. I feel like just I don't even know how to say it, but you just make people happy and you make people smile and laugh even when they're nervous. So that's been really great to see through the sessions, through the interviews, and even when you're holding the flash because you are my manual tripod, which is so much easier. You do that
This
job
is
really
my
well.
look.
But
Don't have it at your face. That's a key.
yeah, I don't have it at your face. I've done that before. But no, you just, even in that moment, you are there. You're talking to if their parents are there, or the awesome leaders at the schools that we meet, just getting to meet them. So you really do bring a great energy when we're on the shoots and interviews. And then obviously, I have loved your writing for forever. And so I always am excited when he sends it for me to proof, which is funny because I don't really proof it, but it's really good. I just enjoy getting to see it first. So you
I
just
would.
have a gift, and
I want to know the face. I want to know the face that he makes when early on. I don't. It doesn't happen anymore, but early on when I would like change the title and the proofing, what was the face that he would make?
there, there was just yes.
Was it that?
Silence.
Really?
kind of,
Really?
and then it went to. Does he understand? This is the great title.
I don't think he understands it sometimes. My titles are so out there, and I'm like, he didn't get it. It's just over his head. It just slipped right off. He's bald. I don't know what to tell you.
That's
and then
right.
That's when I say if he didn't get it, then maybe other people won't either, and that's why he's changing it.
Thank you.
Then he
Maybe.
calms down and he realizes. But no, it's been great.
I realize I'm not perfect.
We all witnessed that on Facebook Live, everybody. No, it's been great to see him grow through this and have so much fun. I love watching you guys on One Nation. He jokes that I don't watch every week, but that's because I'm making sure 4 kids aren't interrupting One Nation.
Which is amazing
Sure.
because they've not run into any of these rooms where you guys are, and that's awesome.
Duct
Nope,
tape.
they went
Duct tape.
Duct tape, rope. They're tied up in the back. Can't
bribery.
work on them.
Honesty, it's bribery, but no, it's been great. He adds a great energy to the team, and it's just been awesome. So I love working with you guys.
We love having you work with us.
I've always, when it comes to those interviews, because I do know that some of these kids are nervous, and I don't know why, because I'm like, I'm not that big of a deal. So I feel like if I can act like a clown and be more embarrassing, then they're like, oh, well, he's an idiot, so I can just relax. And so that's just kind of my philosophy there. I do also want to add to anyone that's watching, uh, talking more about my wife, she really does want these kids to have such a good experience. She fights for you guys. You know, we do this amazing process. We proof the whole magazine. We're going through it, and I'm like, I need more space for my words. My words are super important, and she's like, people aren't gonna read it. They want to see the pictures. And so she fights. She fights to make sure that the kids get their pictures in the magazine because she knows that's really important to them. And she has swayed me through the years. She's right. Kids want their photos in that magazine. Who cares what I had to say? And so I love it. I'm not being, I'm being sincere when I say that. Like, I do care about my words, but the most important thing is the kids just want, they want to have that full experience. So I appreciate her fighting for the kids and giving them that full experience.
I got an
We found a
idea.
good balance.
Yeah, I got a good idea.
Good balance.
We'll let you just do your title. That's it, and then Katie does pictures all the rest. No.
Great.
That's not the
No
balance.
balance.
Speaks up.
That's
No
no
balance.
balance.
Hey, why don't you go ahead and ask the last question? We are at the end of the program, and this has been awesome. Before you do that real quick, one of the things that your grandpa, Ted, mentioned, Katie, is that he hopes your passion is because he taught you to fish. It's always got to be about the fish. Where did that come from?
It always starts with fishing. So yeah, we can start with that.
Yeah, and then Jay, going into your last question, your mom said you're perfect, so finish off with the perfect question.
Thank you. Katie, obviously we need to wrap up, but I just want to,
Yep.
I want to give you this time to talk about our family. Obviously, I'm pretty proud of our family. I know you are too. We've got 4 awesome kiddos, another amazing, awesome, excitable, I don't know what, wiggly little guy coming here soon too. And so he's going to fit right in, but I want you to talk about the family and then how through this magazine you've learned the importance of teaching them about sports and life.
Well, if I keep looking that direction, it's because I'm making sure nobody's jumping into a pool or breaking an arm on the trampoline. Or at sometimes they've just been staring at me, kind of tapping on the window. So sorry if I'm distracted, but yes, our 4 awesome kids are outside having a great time. And um, this whole experience has just been great because I was not a huge sports person. There are a few things I liked about sports, but my appreciation for sports has grown so much over the years just with meeting these athletes, meeting some of the parents, and just how encouraging these parents are that they just give it their all to their students and to their kids. And to hear these coaches that we meet with and athletic directors, they just have this deep passion for their students and student athletes. So it's just been great to have that side of it, because sports were not necessarily my thing. But now that our kids are getting interested into different things, you're just getting a glimpse of those moments of when they're in high school and, sports might be life for one of them. They just absolutely love it and their passion, and just to know how um, to just go alongside them and encourage them and help them be successful with whatever they choose. So it's been great, just to have that reminder through all of this. And I love when parents come to the sessions and they're just so excited to see their students and all that they've accomplished, and hear how they have walked through, all the games, all the practices, and the struggles. So it's been great.
Yeah, that's good. Here's a comment from Don Cope. Thanks for this great magazine. You were right. The entire family enjoys the book. Ian Knopf was in the last copy, and he's from Blair Oaks. And thanks, Don and Faye Cope, his grandparents. So, grandparents, you're awesome. And I want to add one more thing before we have Jay close this out, is that Katie, you are competitive. I mean, I know you remember a time when you were doing a little bit of running and you were preparing for a race, and it was on the other side of the river. And I don't remember exactly how long it was, but we had done some training. You really wanted to do well. And then you were running and you came back the direction you were heading towards me. I was on down there encouraging you, and you were like, I'm ready to stop. I don't want to go anymore. And I said, it's okay, hon. This boy's getting ready to pass you, and don't worry about that. And the moment I said that, you took off. That boy was not going to beat you. So you had some competitive fire in you, and now
I
it's
did.
maybe
did,
it's
and I also remember why I was tired is because you told me not to sprint out at the beginning, and I didn't listen. So
that's okay. You were caught up in the moment. You were caught up in the moment.
I was
Hey,
for sure.
we got Aunt Jackie is saying need a Sports Locker magazine in Kansas. So hey, we'll look at working on that in the future. So
Sounds
anyway,
good to me.
hey, thank you, Katie, for all that you do. Thanks for being on here with us. If you'll hold on afterwards, Jay and I are going to go ahead and let him have the final say, and we will talk to you in just a little bit.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Well, I'm biased. I mean, I thought that was awesome.
That was awesome, and I mean, and we've had some greats on the show. We've had Derek Smith, Ozzie Smith, but I mean, nothing touches interviewing my wife. That's special right there. I'm gonna hold that special place in my heart. All kidding aside, I mean, this was a really fun opportunity tonight. We really wanted to show like kind of the backstage of Sports Locker magazine. We wanted people to be able to peek behind the curtain and even get to see some of the awesome people on our staff. And just so happens that tonight that was your daughter, it was my wife, and we obviously are super biased, but we also recognize all of the great talent she brings to the team, how much passion she brings to the team. And she's not just a part of this magazine because she's family. I mean, she's a part of this magazine because she wants to be, and she absolutely loves it, and she does such a fantastic job. So anyways, babe, love you. Thank you so much for being on the show with us. You are looking fantastic. Muy bien. Super bueno. Mwah. And so I'm just saying, thank you for being such an amazing mother, for carrying my 5th child, and for being my best friend. So thank you for that. You made tonight special.
Jay, real quick, Jay.
Yeah, go for
it. Somebody that was maybe just tuning in and you were saying all that, they might have thought you were talking about me. He was talking about Katie, his wife, and my daughter. So there you go. Go ahead and close her out.
No problem. So, One Nation, thank you all so much for tuning in, for checking out our show. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're sharing our content and you are subscribing. That way we can keep bringing you great content every week. We're so glad to spend this time with you. So, thank you all so much. One Nation, this has been a One Nation Sports Locker Magazine Extra, and we love you guys so much. God bless. Thank you.
God bless you. We'll see you next week.